Hi everyone, my name is Adam Beck. I'm Executive Director of the Smart Cities Council for our Australia and New Zealand region. I just wanted to share a little bit of information with you about the Future of Place project. It's been going for about a year at the Smart Cities Council in the region here. And some of you may have been able to participate in some of the engagement sessions and discovery webinars that we've been doing, but some of you may be new to the project, don't know much about it. So this little briefing not only brings you up to speed about the project and its goals, but also providing you a little bit of an overview of the framework that we've just released. I suppose if we go back a bit, it's been a number of years now in which we have been seeing changes in our public places and spaces with respect to the deployment of technology to allow us to gather data about certain attributes and conditions and behaviours of what happens. We know that public places and spaces are certainly a priority for a number of government entities in terms of creating better places for people, urban design practices, placemaking. And let's not forget that our public places, and place also includes our streets, which are very heavily contested when it comes to use, whether it be pedestrians or bikes or motor vehicles and the like. So we know our public places and spaces are very busy, they're very messy. And technology and data has been playing a leading role in sort of disrupting certain things within our places. And really what happened during the sort of real peak of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, 2021, we really started to observe a whole range of different behaviors that were happening. There were moments in time where we had no streets on our cars and people were walking and biking, and our public open spaces were full of people trying to get out of their locked homes during lockdown. So we experienced a lot of potentially new behaviours that we hadn't seen before. The way that we engaged with commerce, lifestyle, buying online, urban food delivery. There was a whole range of new behaviours that some of us observed for the first time. And of course, for our cities, and city administrators and officials, how do we deal with that? How do we manage that? So the Future of Place project was sort of officially launched last year in 2021. And we set out on a journey, 2-year journey. We're halfway through it. We set out on a journey to try and unpack some of those issues. What is that relationship that we're seeing unfold, emerging relationship and relationships between people, place, and technology and data? And we had a hunch that there was some rapid change going on. We also had a hunch that both policymakers and practitioners potentially needed to sort of step up to the plate a little bit more and identify these emerging relationships and plan for them and design around them a little bit better. So it was an idea, and we thought what we'll do is we'll spend a year unpacking that, exploring it. We call it our discovery phase, phase 1 of the Future of Place project. And then phase 2, what we would do is we'd see what phase 1 told us or taught us. And then we would sort of advance to try and pull together what guidance and support materials or knowledge resources may be required to help us nurture those evolving relationships so that we can shape the best possible outcomes. So the Future of Place project, first and foremost, is about shaping better places for people, acknowledging, however, that technology and data is playing a very interesting role in how we experience place, how we design places, how we plan for places. So we're now halfway through the project, and over the past 12 months, we have spent time engaging with many city shaping professions, policymakers. We've run monthly discovery sessions, an hour and a half each, not only sharing the views of policymakers and practitioners around particular thematic areas, but also with our audiences going deep and answering questions. You know, what is the change that we're observing? What are the outcomes that we want to sort of direct more towards? How might we go about that? So we've distilled all of those learnings, what we saw, what we heard, And with the support of a task force and also a policy and leadership committee, with overall guidance coming from a global advisory board, we've been able to assemble what we're calling the Future of Place framework. And within that framework, when you flick through it, you'll see a bit of a context setter and a preamble, the place outcomes that we really want to continue to drive forward. This is not about new place outcomes. We know what we want from great places. This is more about how does technology and data and the way it's rubbing up against people and place, how do we sort of nurture the best possible outcomes? So we identify some emerging innovations in the Future of Place framework, the technology and data enablers that are sitting behind them. And ultimately, where the framework lands is on a set of 3 core principles. And we're referring to these principles as principles of practice. And there's 3 of them, as I mentioned. The first one, that we need to, as city shapers, embrace technology and data solutions where they help amplify the quality of place and human experience. Not embrace technology and data solutions just for the sake of embracing technology and data solutions, but do so in a deliberate way, only where they enhance and amplify the quality of place and the experience for us as humans. Secondly, that we actually design technology and data solutions with purpose. We then deploy them with transparency and we operate them ethically. And finally, we uphold the principle that technology and data enablers can really only help shape best places when they are in support of the core foundational enablers of great places, which is things like leadership and governance, deep and meaningful and authentic community engagement, and a whole range of other items such as good policy making. These principles are not new place principles. We have principles of great places. We did not need to do those again or add to those. But what we've found is a niche area, a gap, an opportunity where, as practitioners and policymakers, how we go about the process of shaping great places, we think there's some principles in there that can really be advanced to provide great guidance for all of our city shaping professions and our policymakers. So what that means is we now have a bit of a frame and a context for the second year of the Future of Place project. And we've been notionally saying that we're going to be creating a handbook, a Future of Place handbook that provides guidance and knowledge and support. We still don't know what that's going to look like, but what we do know now is that we have some guidance to help us shape that second year of the project. So we'll take those Future of Place principles of practice, we'll now take them forward with our stakeholders. We encourage you to come on this journey with us. And download the framework and have a look at it, see if it resonates, engage with us, and hopefully we'll see you along the way in 2022 as the project unfolds. But again, please download the Future of Place framework, have a look at it, share your thoughts, and hopefully we'll be working with you soon. Head to our website, smartcitiescouncil.com. Thanks so much for listening.